In the year's idle passages, I carefully planted a key, a smile for keepsake memory, in order to remember me. Don't even shed a tear, just slowly rise upward towards your feet as the hand lands on tambourine, bringing a joyous rhythmic beat. I will freely dance around heaven with feet placed upon pillowed floors, while my wings of merit guide me safely through his open and welcoming doors. In sweet loving memory of Sayana Tucker.
A heartbroken father is speaking for the first time after the death of his daughter.
Yeah, 16-year-old Sayana Tucker died from multiple stab wounds on Saturday. The teenage suspect is now charged as an adult in Kitsap County. Q13's Frankie Thompson joining us in the newsroom with more from this grieving parent. Frankie?
Sayana Tucker says her father says his best friend was taken away from him. He tells me as heartbreaking as his daughter's murder is to process, each day gets a little easier, but sometimes it's tough for him just to get some sleep.
I just keep on seeing her face in my dreams, and it's just hard to do anything, really.
Hard to imagine life after the death of a child. That's the fate for Ryan Tucker. His daughter, Sayana Tucker, died from multiple stab wounds at only age 16.
I'll never know if she's going to get married. I'll never know if she wants more children. I'll never know. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so hard. I just got so many questions that I want to ask.
Questions about what led up to the altercation that ultimately claimed her life. During court Monday, the judge instructed us not to show 16-year-old Lola Luna as she was charged as an adult with second-degree murder for the stabbing.
It's a pain that no parent should have to feel.
Bremerton police say it started outside Luna's house where Tucker showed up to fight. Court documents say Luna decided to grab her 6 to 7 inch folding knife and put it in her back pocket. Tucker threw the first punch, hitting Luna in the head, which Luna told detectives she lost it and started stabbing. Documents say after the fight, Luna went inside the house to tell her family, "I stabbed her."
What gave you the right to think it was all right to stab my daughter 5 times? Like, what gives you that right?
Tucker was airlifted to Harborview Medical Center in Seattle, but soon died from her injuries. Now gone, she's remembered by loved ones as a goofy person full of life and a loving mother to her 5-month-old daughter. The teen's father says his phone has been overflowing with supportive messages and calls.
Just so moving, and I was just filled with joy, you know. Like, dang, my daughter touched that many people's lives.
Lives that are forever changed by her death, something Tucker says will never be easy to process.
That's going to be the hard part, figuring out life without her here, you know. But I'm just been numb to the situation. It seems so unreal. Like, my baby's gone, you know.
Tucker says his son is taking the loss of his sister the hardest. They were very close and were always joking around together, something their father tells me he will miss dearly. Luna is scheduled for her next court hearing on March 2nd.
Sayana Tucker was born in Bremerton, Washington, to Ms. Cheryl Turner and Mr. Ryan Tucker on March 13, 2004. Sayana Tucker was a talented artist who was weighing towards becoming a nurse and the career artist her heart desired.
She had a high spirited personality with a lively and self deprecating sense of humor. Diana Tucker was well known for her loyalty, sensitivity, goofiness, and undenying love for her daughter, May Lynn, which was 6 months old. On a cloudy day of January 30th, 2021, Diana had mapped out to spend the later of the day watching movies with her family, but not before confronting a disrespectful girl who had been slandering her daughter on social media. Misconstruing the confrontation would be a fair fight, Diana's life was maliciously and cold-heartedly taken as a result of 25 stab wounds, which was forcibly inflicted by a 6-inch folding knife from the murderous hands of 16-year-old Lola Luna. Diana Tucker leaves behind a beautiful baby girl, a mother, a father, siblings, family members, and a multitude of friends who, out of love, not only mourning their loss, but standing their ground to fight for justice on behalf of Diana Tucker. Let's take this moment not only to pray for the family, but a moment to travel down the life of Diana Turner. Tucker, I'm sorry. Hello, hello, and thank you for tuning in to the Unspoken Heart Discussion Hour. I am the host, Spicee Gray, and we also have our co-host here, Dwight Robinson. I thank y'all for tuning in. If you would, please make sure you share this video, tag whoever you could tag. We are fighting for the justice of Diana Tucker. Today we have here is her siblings to tell the story of what really happened and her character when she was here with them. Bring in now with y'all Jade and Toya, her sister, and Eleni. Okay, thank y'all so much for coming on. I know it wasn't an easy thing to do, and our hearts are with you. When I first came across your story, I found Eleni on TikTok. So it caught my attention to where I had to reach out because here we believe in not only respect, but we have a big heart for everyone. And we want to make sure that we get the word out on pertaining to her. So, Dwight, will you introduce yourself to them?
How y'all young ladies are doing? I'm Dwight, the co-host of the show.
Hi.
How y'all doing? And I just want to say I'm sorry for what happened to your sister. So we are here just to let y'all speak about her, and so we can learn more about what's going on from this beautiful young lady that passed, unfortunately.
Now, to start off with Eleni, we was the first ones to talk through the inbox. Could you tell us a little bit about your relationship with Sayana? Because we want to get to know her a little bit and her character and how you came up with her.
She was such a happy baby. I remember when my mom brought her home and she was just like all smiles all the time, and like growing up with her, she was just really talented. She was always like coloring and drawing stuff. She was an amazing artist. And she always talked to us about how she wanted to get into nursing and stuff. And when she got pregnant with her daughter, Meilani, like everything just changed. She just started going for all the goals that she wanted to go for, going back to school, just getting everything back together that she needed to, and just getting away from the bad people that she didn't need to be around anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now, Jade and Toya, could you tell us your personal relationship with her and how was it growing up with her?
She was always full of life. She always had a smile on her face. She was always making sure everybody else was okay. Always. And if you were the underdog, she was your best friend. She always loved to help people. She was just a big goofball, big old teddy bear. Just a little girl, big old teddy bear with a smile that can light up an auditorium.
Right, right. Now, Jade, I know you know each sibling has a different level of a relationship with a sister. What was your relationship with Sayana? What was it like coming up and even to the day of her at 16?
Well, our family's like super big, so we have a lot of siblings and brothers and sisters, but Giselle, Sayana, and myself are the three younger ones. So we've lived together for years, so we shared the same room, and she was just so goofy all the time, and we always made like little raps together, and just I don't know. She was someone you wanted to be around. Like she was just super talented and funny, and she could just make you laugh just like that. And that was just the type of person she is. And she was a protector. Like she wanted to protect people, and yeah, she was super funny.
Yeah, it sounded like that, you know, y'all, each one of y'all had a very, very close bond with her. And, you know, what was she like when it came down to being a mother?
She was a good mom. She was a good mom.
Yes, because I know when this happened, the baby was 6 months old. How old is the
5.
baby? 5 months old?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how old is the baby now?
She's
11 months.
Wow. And how has it been with the baby and everything?
First weeks really hard. Like we all used to like babysit her whenever Sana wanted to like go hang out with a friend or anything like that. So she was used to us, but she was always with her mom. So when Sana first had died, like it was just really hard. There was a lot of sleepless nights.
Right. So she would just cry through the night because, you know, being so young, she don't understand why, you know, this person is not here.
Yeah.
Okay. So now as a family member, that's the way she was. So as you seen her with her friends, what kind of, because I mean, I see a lot on social media and it's so much love that I've seen that I have never seen before for one person, you know, especially when this happened and seeing everything that, you know, they're saying in support of her, especially the young lady that was in the courtroom, well, that was VIA on the courtroom. You could tell that she was very passionate when it came down to her friend. What was she like with when it came down to being a friend?
She had a lot of friends. Like a lot of people knew her, and she had many friends. Like, and that's why it's so big and it's affected so many people, is because Solana was just that type of person. Like you were just drawn to her. You know what I mean? Like she was just like a ray of sunshine. Like I don't know how to explain it any more than that. Like you just wanted to be around her, and everybody was around her all the time. Like she has millions of friends,
all different crowds.
Yeah.
She loved hard. She loved hard. No matter who she was around, she made you feel like you were family. She loved hard, was a protector.
Yeah.
That's her other sister, Amanda.
Oh, Amanda. Oh, hi. How you doing?
Hi.
And
How you
you know,
doing,
when it
Amanda?
comes out to her being in school and everything, she was still in school. You said she went back to school. So what kind of student was she?
She was always pushing.
She was still pushing.
Always pushing.
She said student.
Yeah, what type of student was she?
Oh yeah, Sarana. She always tried to get her stuff done and do all of her stuff.
Her teachers loved her.
And she was going to Renaissance. The guidance counselor, I believe that's what it was there. She connected with him a lot, and he was helping her out a lot so that she can graduate early.
Okay. So would you say her having the baby, it changed her perspective in life a whole lot?
Yeah.
Oh, she was so happy to be pregnant. She was so happy when she found out she was pregnant. Excuse me, she was pregnant.
She was so excited to be a mom. So excited, and it.
All of us sisters. So
she's what the youngest.
She got pregnant. She felt like she could be like more part of, because we have our kids too. She was excited to be a mom.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a small break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to talk about the day that Sayana had confronted Lola. So everyone stay tuned. We will be back after these messages.
You know, they say the prayers of the righteous availeth much. I'm so glad that God's word doesn't come back void. Yeah. My mother prayed for me, had me on her mind. Took the time and she prayed for me. I'm so glad she prayed. I'm so glad she prayed. I'm so glad my mother prayed for me. Oh, my father prayed for me. Had me on his mind. Took the time and he prayed for me. People, let me tell you, I'm so glad he prayed. I'm so glad he prayed. I'm so glad he prayed for me. One more thing, yeah. My sister prayed for me. Had me on her mind. She took the time and she prayed for me. Oh yeah, she did, yeah. My sister prayed for me. Had me on her mind. Took the time and prayed, she prayed for me. Before she went to heaven, my sister prayed for me. Had me on her mind. She took the time and she prayed. Oh yeah, she prayed for me. I thank the Lord for my Jesus. Oh yeah, because he prayed for me. He had me on his mind. He took the time and he just prayed for me. I thank the Lord, my Jesus prayed for me. Had me on his mind. Took the time and he prayed for me. People everywhere and pray. People everywhere.
Okay. Now, I know this is very hard for y'all to have to relive this, and either one of y'all could jump in, but I'm going to start with Eleni. Could you kind of tell us about that day, what was going on? Just go ahead and just let us know what all went on that day before this incident happened.
So, Diana had called me, and her and her friends came over, and we hung out for a while until like 6:37, and then she went back to her friend's house, and then from there she was supposed to go get May from our mom's house because she was babysitting her, and then she was going to go to our grandma's and have dinner there and just get some rest because we were supposed to go to our cousin's birthday party that day. And this whole time, like, not once did she call us or anybody call us and tell us what was going on. Like, we didn't know there was going to be a fight. We didn't know who Lola even was. We've never heard of her before. Okay. That's why all this is just crazy to us. But I just remember it was around like 1:20-ish, and my sister Jade called me and told me that people were calling her saying that Sayana just got stabbed. And I was like, no, she was just here. Like, I even had Snapchatted her like 20 minutes before that, I think, and she was in bed. So it wasn't making sense at first. And then people just kept calling and calling. So I called my husband to come here and my mother-in-law to watch the kids, and we went straight there.
Okay. So I'm gonna go before we have to get to describing the incident. You said Jade had called you and informed you that people was calling her, telling her that your baby sister had got stabbed. So Jade, could you tell us everything that went on up to that point to where you had to call Eleni?
We're not gonna say any of the people's names because there's minors, so we're just gonna say their first initial or whatever. But I had called out of that work that day for some reason. I don't know why. I just didn't want to go to work, and I was sitting there watching TV, and one of Sana's friends had texted me and was like, Sana has just been stabbed, da, 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 da. And I was like, what? Sent me the person's address. And then I called Eleni, and the last thing we knew that Sana was with one of her other friends. But I called Eleni, and then she was just saying that that's not true because she had just talked to Sayana, and we were just all confused. And then I picked up Toya, and we went to her house, and then, found out what happened.
Okay. So when you went to the house, what was going on at that time?
They were searching the area for the knife. We didn't know the exact house, what it was. We just knew what street it was on. So we got out of the car, and we're just walking up down the street, looking, and they're looking in neighbors' yards for the knife, and we were confused. And go ahead, you.
I seen an officer walk up a driveway, and I asked, my sister, I heard that she just got stabbed, and I'm trying to figure out what happened. And he sent me down to Lola's house, and we walked up the stairs, me and my sister, and we got all the way to the door, and an officer came to the door, and he said, you need to stop. He said, you need to go down and talk to the officers on the road. And I turned where there was no officers before, and I turned around, and there's 2 squad cars and a detective car. And we walked down there, and Detective Korn, she said that we needed to go to the hospital and be with our sister. And she grabbed my arm, and she said, you need to pray to whoever you pray to and tell your family to be with your sister. And that's when we left to go meet our other sister, Eleni.
So at this time, what were the officers, were they telling you anything about how it happened, what had happened, anything?
No, so when me and Toya got there, the only information that we knew was that Sayana was in the hospital. She was stabbed, or on the way to the hospital. We didn't know that she was there yet. She was on the way to the hospital, and that she was stabbed, and she was stabbed by Lola. And we repeated that back to the officers, and they repeated the same exact thing that we said. They didn't give us any more information than that. And me and Toya were just getting irritated.
They looked completely dumbfounded.
Yeah, confused.
They didn't radio in on their radio. It was just silence. Everything that I said to them, they repeated back to me. And I just told you that. You're telling me the same thing I just told you.
Yeah.
Give me something else. Give me something to go on. Right. And they couldn't.
Yes, because I know, as we see in the video earlier, her dad has stated 5 times she was stabbed, but that was actually incorrect,
Yes.
which I ended up finding out through Elaine's video. So could y'all tell us the correct information? Elaine?
Yeah, so at first we were told 5 times, but then we found out, I think, what was it, a few months after? 2 months after that she was stabbed 25 times.
It was a little bit longer than that, Lane. It was probably like 3.5, 4 months almost.
Okay, let me get this right. They tell you that she was stabbed 5 times, but it takes 3 to 4 months for them to come back and say it was actually 25 times.
Yes.
So did they say any reason on how they missed out on the 20?
They just said that they didn't know. That they, like, when I went to the Seattle hospital, they told me that I wasn't allowed to move the blanket or anything, and I could see her face and her neck and stuff, but I didn't see anything else. But I guess they did one autopsy and then they did another one. But
So
they never gave an explanation of why we were told 5 and then 25.
Oh, wow.
At her viewing, we weren't allowed to dress her. They wouldn't let us see the body at all.
It was just, the whole situation is just fishy to me. Like, they didn't have a time of death for a period of time, and I was like, how do you not have a time of death? That doesn't make any sense.
Okay, according to the reports, she had passed away at the hospital, right? She didn't pass away right there. So if she passed away at the hospital, how is it that they not know the time of death?
It's been a runaround with the whole investigation.
A trauma care unit.
Anytime we try
So
to ask,
everybody's having like a different.
every time we try to ask anybody anything, they come at us like we're bothering them or like we're harassing them, when all we're doing is trying to ask questions. Anytime we try to ask the prosecutors or we go to the hospital to try to ask anybody, they're acting like we're bothering them or harassing them.
You were saying something, Dwight?
Well, no, I was just agreeing with her. You know, they was giving them the runarounds about their sister. Like nobody didn't have a correct answer. Give them a definite answer was going on with the sister and the stab wounds and the death or anything like that.
Yeah, because it looked like to me, standing in my position, I would feel like they're hiding something, or they just didn't completely do their job.
Yeah, exactly what it is.
Jade.
Because I'm gonna tell you, you know, like I explained to Elaine when I reached out to her, I lost 2 sons and a granddaughter, and my thing is you know, it's like you're gonna give me answers. You're gonna tell me why, what happened, what was going on, you know. But for them to treat y'all like y'all the problem, I feel like that type of attitude should have been going towards Lola, not y'all. Y'all the one had the law.
Exactly.
You know, if anything, they should have some type of sympathy. Being that you are the family and you are a close family. This is your baby sister.
Yes.
And for them to act this way, I mean, honestly, have y'all tried to contact the board over this hospital or anybody above them?
Every time we try to, we just get the runaround.
We tried to ask people. Me and my other sisters have tried to go to like the legislative office and try to get talk to somebody there, or we're just
Randall.
We can talk to about something to tell us what our next steps should be, because we're not quite sure. But like I said, anytime we try to ask anybody anything, we get treated like we're harassing them, or it's just ridiculous.
Now, have y'all attempted, what about the district attorney or the congressman or anybody like that?
We have talked to the mayor before.
Okay.
Mayor Greg Wheeler. But he said he would help and nothing.